A wise man once said, there are two types of people in this world, chads and rats. This prophet was sent here from the heavens to grace us all with the foresight and the vision to really bring out things we didn't know he had in us. Trickery, betrayal, hatred, frustration, but most importantly, some really funny and entertaining content. There was no reason to become anything else besides a skeevy rat or a dirty chad. That is, until Battlestate Games caught on. They didn't envision their game to be a New York subway system, chock full of rats and rat haters. No, Battlestate Games crushed the whole city, and they have started rebuilding it piece by piece, giving way to a new species of players. So what has changed since 2020? Well, first off, in the real world, we kind of had a pandemic. We also had some bug fixes in the game, some mechanics changes, some new content, and this new found in raid status. It doesn't even make any sense. I found all of these items in raid. They didn't magically appear, or I didn't invent them like I did with this expeditionary fuel tank, these lighters, the Zibbo, and some crickets. Oh wait, this is found in raid? Really? Just because I died doesn't mean I didn't find it in a raid. New players must be so confused, because I know I am. We also had the reintroduction of some previously fixed bugs, and even changes to how the economy works. In terms of economy changes, you can no longer buy and sell a lot of armors or ammo on the flea market. You can only buy it from traders, or find them in raid. Found in raid, right? See this right here? Yeah, this ammo. This ammo is trash. Why can I not buy more than 120 rounds with it? I can't even go to raid with the gun that I want to. This ammo is like the Andrew Garfield of the Spider-Man movies. It's the worst. Who would even want to buy it except if you're desperate? And you can't even buy more than 120, and I guarantee you no one's buying it. Some of these restrictions are crazy. So with all these new changes, people are tired of being shoved into boxes and labeled either Chad or Rat. Both have become insults. But if these are the only two types of players, well, it's time for some new types of players. Who the hell are you? You can't just introduce new player types without any input from the community. Well, if I was a nice guy, I'd say, piss off. No, I'm just kidding. You're right. I'm just a guy who makes mediocre videos at best. My green screen is friggin' Zoom video, for heaven's sake. If I get 100 views on this video, I'd be surprised. But all I ask is that you hear me out before you dismiss any of these new player types. Until this patch, Tarkov, like New York, had a rodent problem. Unless you took the train out of the city to the labs, the grazing ground for chads and cheaters. As players started learning the intricacies of the rat tactics and evolving them, rats were forced to start preying on each other. Ha! Chad rats. Rat chads. Those are some of the labels people were given. What a joke. Everything started blending together, and all of a sudden we started saying, what the fuck? I didn't cue you in yet! You stupid idiot! Well, that ruined everything. And now we have the Ox. They're these dumb feisty buggers that like to hang around. They often wander around the map, most of the time in packs, and they become fearful if they're not in their herd. These are not chads. I mean, look at them. They're not rats. In MBSS? Really? What are you gonna loot? One store? And you're gonna take 40 minutes to do it. They aren't necessarily looking for fights, but they will take a fight if it happens in front of them. Sometimes one of these Ox may be led astray and cause the whole pack to get picked off one by one.
But you guys can get closer so that when I do snipe them. Oh.
Oh fuck, I'm dead too. Fuck this shit. God damn.
What happened?
Fuck. We're fucking dead. I mean, fuck.
They like to take over areas of the map, and because there are so many of them, they leave the place barren and desolate. It's like scorched earth. There aren't even crickets remaining, both literally and figuratively. They're almost always overweight, with backpacks full of nonsense. You often wonder how they could be overweight. They're not wearing anything good. The ox may be dangerous if encountered straight on, and sometimes they should be avoided, because they don't go down without a fight. But they are pretty predictable. New players also tend to fall into this category too, and it's a damn shame. There's nothing worse than a baby ox roaming around without his parent. Thinking about it just makes me teary a little bit. Can someone please get this guy a Sherpa? Please? Someone? Anyone? Help! Alright, that's better. How can you call this guy a rat or a Chad? If you're new and you think you fall into this category, please see me after class. Alright, that's it. Cue the music. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for sticking around for the reveal of this next mysterious creature. It is... What? Doug, what the fuck? I sent a picture of a fucking tiger. Tony is a fucking cartoon serial character. What the fuck? This drawing isn't even good, too. Alright, get the fuck out of here. I'll do the rest of the editing. Go on, get out of here. That guy. Anyways, tigers. You almost never see them when they're hunting. If you do, they only show themselves because they want to be seen, or it's too late for you. You know they exist when you get hit from somewhere you can't determine, as they take you down limb by limb. Tigers primarily hunt at night, although they are sometimes forced to hunt during the day for quests. This dramatically reduces the chances that they get poached while gnawing on the calves of their prey. Usually quiet hunters, tigers use whatever tools are in their arsenal that give them an advantage. Tigers are sometimes considered the most feared animal in the jungle. They know almost every mechanic about the game, and they know what you're going to do before you know what you're going to do. And tigers are the only one who know the most valuable thing in Tarkov. Do you know it? Just as in life, it's time. And no, not this time. Us tigers, we embrace the chaos. We'll throw a grenade to draw packs of chads, we'll fight to the death, or shoot a gun off in a random direction just so that chads think there's fighting around, and that attracts the rats who come in for the scraps. We may never go into the kill, we may just watch this go down and find it fun. We're picking up the victims that leave themselves exposed, and then we quickly vanish. We extract before anyone can stumble upon them. We do very little gathering. We loot just what we see on our way to extract. Our raids are typically quick, for a couple of reasons. You will level your skills quicker, you can't die in your hideout. What's the purpose of hunting if you don't take home your catch? It's hard to search for an advantageous spot later in the raid, because there's so much that can happen. The beginning of the raid is much more predictable. Because there's a shortage of high pen ammo, sometimes tigers are forced to hunt in less than ideal conditions. They're always stocking up on the best ammo in terms of pen, but also damage whenever the traders reset, even if they don't intend to use it that day. I mean, really, 100 rounds? That'll be gone in 10 seconds. Come on. Just work with me a little bit here. Let's compromise. 150, something. Alright, I'm gonna write Nikita here. Dearest Nikita Kucherov, could you please make the amount of ammunition based off of supply and demand? Any unbought ammunition should be added to the next trader supply. Thank you, CZTO. P.S. Muransuka! What does a trader reset anyway? And where does all that ammo go that isn't purchased? Anyway, I digress. Tigers hunt alone. We only take fights that we think we can win or that we have to. We are honorable. None of this rat backstabbing child play. This isn't Fortnite, we're adults here. Let's take pride in ourselves, use VoIP not to taunt but to collaborate, or just say, hey, how are you, before a fight. We spread kindness and bullets to others when appropriate. We teach others when we want to join up with a pack of ox, but we cannot be tamed. Here are a couple quick tips for how to be a better tiger. If you are already rich, why even take that GPU out? What is the difference between 100 million and 100,500,000? Put it somewhere for people to find, and for them to think it's a new loot spot. Not to camp, but to start misleading the rats. Tip number 2. Use guns from scavs that you kill. It boosts recoil, it boosts your skills, and it makes chads think there's a fight. You will be gone before they get there, and they'll be wasting a bunch of time. Tip number 3. Take cues from bosses. If you're going to encounter something that you think is good, pretend to move like a scav. It's like on interchange when you think that you hear something, you peek, and oh no, it's a killer and you're dead. You can apply that same principle to other PMCs. Just run, sprint and stop, turn around, pivot a bunch, check your mag a bunch, eat and drink when you know someone's around. That easy. They'll come around the corner, not expecting a PMC. Tip number 4. Know the ins and outs of the health system. Tip number 5. Practice identifying a situation with only audio cues. You could do this by listening to a stream or doing other things. Audio is extremely important. Tip number 6. Use SJ6's early rate. It will help you get into spots quickly that people don't expect you to be in because it's too early in the raid. Also, it provides you with more endurance skill points than you would get if you didn't use the SJ6. Your sprint will go a lot longer and further, so you'll get the extra boost of 130% for much longer. It adds about 2 skill points per SJ6, so keep using those. Tip number 7, get in and out and get those skills up. Maximize the amount of raids that you can do so that you have more skill progression boost in a day. Tip number 8, until they fix certain bugs and exploits, you need to use them, or they're going to be used against you. Like this ADS speed boost that doesn't make any sense. I think once I saw something about the Chinese zodiac being a symbol of what is going to be the dominant playstyle, with the Chinese New Year earlier this week, I thought I'd give you some insight into the players that would succeed the next couple of months. Tigers, go hunt down those rats, those chads, and those ox. And if you find a level 2 ox, take them under your wing. If they don't improve, then they're going to quit. And how are we supposed to get our shooter kills without them? Who are we going to stalk outdoors? It's not going to be rats or chads. They don't play woods or shoreline. Now go get them, boys. Stay safe, and hope that you don't see me in Tarkov.